Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be continuing the module short story narrations for the various operators in Arknights, and today we are going to be taking a look at the short story that comes with the module for operator GreyThroat. So quick little things before we begin here. First off, a big warning here for people who are twitchy at this kind of stuff. This is a very heavy story. Pretty much any story surrounding GreyThroat is pretty heavy and has a lot of themes of inflicting self-harm. So take that as a warning before we begin with anything. And yes, stuff like that does get mentioned obviously in this module short story as well. But regardless outside of that, if you do want to know more about GreyThroat as an operator, she is one of those operators that does appear in the main story of Arknights. During Act 1, her background and train of thought and both character growth, are very well portrayed during the story of Act 1. So if you are new to the Arknights story and characters, if you haven't read through that part yet, all I can recommend is keep on reading and you will see quite a bit about GreyThroat. But if you also just want to sit back and listen to the story being told, I did a narration on pretty much, as of this recording, the entire available main story of Arknights, so you can just sit back and listen if you wanna. Link is in the description of the video. Furthermore, if you want to know even a bit more about GreyThroat, I did a file reading on on her entire file, plus the voice file that comes with her, quite some time ago, and the link to that will also be in the description of the video. Again, for the file narration, also content warning, there is mention of some very heavy self-harm inflicting stuff, so you have been warned. Anyway, let's get into the short story, and then we are gonna go over what the module brings to GreyThroat. So then, the story and the module itself are called Reflections of a Mother's Love, and if you can't tell already by the picture on the left for the module, yeah, this is gonna be something, all right. Anyway, the story goes as follows. She comes to in the corridor where she played as a child. She remembers. Her father's working very late today. She's waiting in the corridor for him. The sunset clouds are chased in by the autumn winds. And in this country town where no high-rise nor skyscraper stands, time's gifts are ever there to be seized at the first moments. Quietly, she pushes her father's door open and sees his stern expression. Something has happened, her child's instincts say. She comes to in the crook of her mother's arm. She remembers. She is 9 now. She could be celebrating her birthday with her friends, sharing the cake. There should be candles aflame, yet the town burns. She sees her mother's face. In the instant she notices her daughter's gaze, the enmity and apprehension is hidden away behind the moon. The night is deep and dark, and her mother tells her it'll all be alright. She comes to in a tent in the Barrens. She remembers. This is their 3rd month on the run. The incident in town seemed to serve as an excuse for all the other relatives to shun the mother and daughter. Her faith in and dependence on others left her in the sound of a single crash. She hasn't seen her father for so long now. She dearly wishes to cry, and so she hugs her mother, but droplets hit the floor before she's even begun to weep. She comes to beneath an unfamiliar carport. She remembers. Her 10th birthday is very soon. Surrounding her are adults as frigid as ice, and one by one forcing out a smile. She's a smart child and knows these people mean well, but she's only a child at the same. The adults tell her that her mother is entrusting her to Rhode Island. Her mother has left like a cloud. She comes to in a brand new bedding. She remembers her arm is filled with bruising. She used a stolen sheet of sandpaper to rub at her once smooth skin. pounding the flesh as though it'd atone. It hurts and she dares not continue. But the moment she thinks of the black crystals, her throat is in the death grip of an all-choking emotion. She wants to vomit. She can't. She hasn't eaten in so very, very long. She comes to the boom of floodwater. She remembers. Amiya and the infected are still below. Those nameless heroes are resisting a mere catastrophe. She lifts her head, and as the elements batter all, it suddenly strikes her that suffering is not a matter of great or small, and nor is hope. She throws herself down. Amiya must be alright at the very least. She hears those behind her howling in fear. She hears them. Infected are drowning here, they say. When the flood recedes, will their water source be polluted? She comes to beneath a sunset as red as fire. She remembers. She saved a great many at Sugar City. A great many more than she could know. Her mother comes to mind. All at once she feels sad yet smiles. She understands her father, but still hadn't been able to find her mother. Can she find her? Will she ever? As the thought strikes her, she has a mild headache, but feels unusually unburdened. She turns her head and gives the great feline, as badly wounded as her, a tremendous chewing out. Blaze, can't you wake me up any other way? Boy, this short story is a journey, alright. But yeah, like I said, obviously more on her is being shown during the main story events in Act 1. And her entire file also gives a pretty great insight of how she feels, lives, thinks, I guess. It's a heavy topic. No matter what you say, her entire thing is a very heavy topic. But yeah, anyway, back to the numbers now. So, as always, let's go over the traits and talents on default, and then we're gonna take a look at what the module does to upgrade those. So as always, considering she's a sniper unit, the trait is attacks aerial enemies first. Pretty much a normal for sniper units. Her one and only talent, considering she's a 5-star, is called Tailwind, and it's an attack speed increase of +6, and it gives a 15% chance to increase the attack to 150% when attacking. Very neat. So what do we get from the module? Well, first off, the module once again is on stage 2 already, so the stats up here will be reflected of that. So then, we get a flat increase to health and a tiny increase to attack. So yeah, the 29 you see up there is a stage 2 upgrade. So not much of a big upgrade to attack, but very similar to Blue Poison, she gains +8 attack speed when there are ground enemies within her range. Furthermore, on stage 2, her Tailwind talent gets upgraded from 15% chance to increase to 18% chance. Not too much of an upgrade. So what does stage 3 do? Stage 3, outside of the flat increases to HP and attack, increases the chance to proc the Tailwind talent to another 21%. So we went up by a total of 6% from the original 15. So I'll say right here, I don't know, probably someone who does numbers on this can tell you a bit more, but when you just look at it on paper, it's not much of a difference. The best thing this works with is probably her second skill, which lasts for a couple of seconds, increases her attack, and makes it so that she, every time she shoots, she hits 3 times in a row, which is quite significant and increases the chances for the talent to proc even more, obviously, which means that she will do quite a lot of damage. Obviously, her first talent is also not bad, very little energy consumption plus, or rather energy need, plus she shoots 2 times when it triggers, and each shot is dealing 125%, so this one could also be very well buffed by the talent. But yeah, it's a bit of an RNG, and yes, the upgrade path does reduce the RNG tiny little bit, but it's still RNG nonetheless. But still, when it hits like a truck. And she has also decent attack. This is a GreyThroat on max level E2, so 640 attack with a stage 2 module. Pretty nice buff, but still, it doesn't really change much. So I'll say, and this is just my personal opinion, I'll say if you want to get her module, probably worth for just the stat stick and the 8 attack speed. Outside of that, I don't know, it's up to you. It's up to you and anybody who does number crunching on these kinds of things, if it's very worth. It does cost obviously less to promote the module for a 5-star than a 6-star, but still, be your own judge on this one. For me personally, I think just the stage 2 is gonna be enough. I will say, however, that using GreyThroat has always been fun in with someone like Exia on her side, because essentially you have, if you use Exia on her 2nd skill, or even on her 3rd skill, which auto procs, it's pretty much like having 2 little Gatling cannons next to each other. It's very fun to look at when the 2 of them in tandem melt big targets. But yeah, anyway, this will be it for this video. Hope this was informative, and yeah, if you like this video, please consider leaving a like. They help the videos and the channel a lot. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.